I'm Nabil Abdulrashid, and this is Nabil Knows. In other news, entertainment-wise, it turns out that all the little rumors and conspiracy theories about debauchery going on in Hollywood are coming out to be true. Who knows? Maybe Tupac is actually still alive as well. Just hoping. No. P. Diddy is at the center of a big scandal. I'm not sure why it's so big. I'm not sure why people are so interested in the names involved in his little list of blackmail. Because, I mean, isn't there another list that we're still yet to hear of? Does anybody remember Ghislaine Maxwell? Remember the wife of Mr. Epstein? How do you pronounce the name? Epstein, who was, on the run and found hiding out in some country in the Middle East somewhere. And, the list that she has contains names of rulers, royal family members of different royal families around the world, politicians, big businessmen, and nobody seems to be pressing who's on that list. Why? Is it because Epstein didn't rap? I mean, maybe if he was a hip-hop fan, he would have ended up better. Maybe he should have listened to Protect Your Neck. Wu-Tang! Sorry, I'm a kid, I swear I'm a kid. But Wu-Tang is for the babies. Turns out that P. Diddy has a reputation for making other musicians play his didgeridoo, which is probably the most awesome bar in hip-hop since Dead in the Middle of Little Italy. Little did we know we riddled two middlemen that didn't do diddly. Jeez. Shout out to Big Pun. P. Diddy apparently was grooming and sexually exploiting and blackmailing artists, not just on his label, but on other labels and artists that he was a mentor to. What's shocking to some people, however, is that a lot of these artists were guys. I don't know why that's shocking, because I listened to the lyrics. You listen to I Need a Girl. My man said, all night we would play fight under covers. You was more than my girl. We were like brothers.
Why are you gay?
Fam, all I'm saying is that's a why, yeah? I'm sorry, but if you play fight all night under covers with your brother, that has passed flipping Jeremy Kyle territory and torpedoed into flipping Jerry Springer. I guess Tupac's name has finally been avenged. All I want to know now, like many fans around the world, is this. Now that P. Diddy might be going to jail, are we finally going to get that R. Kelly P. Diddy album? Yeah, we're going to have like Satisfy You Part 2. He don't drop the soap just like you do. Sorry, I told you I'm a big kid. By the time this comes out, this idiot might actually be our mayor. Susan Hall, I mean, there's a number of red flags like with any other Tory. Even for a Tory, Susan Hall's a piece of shit. This woman has come out and talks about how there's a problem with the black community. Yes, because of course, we're all just one community with one WhatsApp group, and everyone's in it, including Drake, and of course the brother from the Halifax advert.
Maybe I'm a banker who's completely upset.
I mean, this woman has come out, he said that there's a crime problem with the black community in the UK, and that politicians are scared to talk about. Since when have British politicians been scared to pick on ethnic minorities? Show me a Tory policy that has nothing to do with blaming everything from bad weather to flipping Boris Johnson's erectile dysfunction on black and brown people. Black people in the UK, and to a lesser extent brown people, are more heavily policed than anybody else in the UK. So they're more likely to be arrested for crimes, right? Nobody's going up to, Essex or going up to Twickenham and searching these kids, who are just as likely, according to statisticians and sociologists, to be carrying drugs on them as well. But police have no problem sending out droves of their colleagues to go and stop and search young black kids. But why aren't they going out and stopping and searching old white men? Because they're just as dodgy as a young black man. That's all I'm saying. Financial crimes, also more likely to be committed by a white person. Hate crimes, also more likely to be committed by a white person. How can you sit down and talk about crime when you belong to a political party that is full of cokeheads, wife beaters, child abusers, and embezzlers? We were literally ruled by a woman who was given money to build thousands of homes and didn't build a single one. That is beyond Nigerian scale corruption. At least our politicians might build 4. I haven't been voted in, but and she may well be our mayor. So on behalf of the black community, even though I've not been elected, very much like Rishi, on behalf of the black community, allow me to say to you, Susan Hall, f*** you.
Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
They can't deport me, right? They can't. Susan Hall is also in a Facebook group that was loaded with Islamophobic, hate-filled rhetoric towards Sadiq Khan. It was an anti-ULEZ group. In this group, they talked about how Islamists are taking over London. Now, bruh, if clean-shaven Mr. Potato Face Sadiq Khan is your idea of an Islamist, then holy shit. I would be thrilled to find out the last time Sadiq Khan was even in the mosque. If Sadiq Khan is an Islamist, then boy, there were legitimate threats to his safety as well. They said, oh, if the dark forces could take out Princess Diana, surely they can take him out. And this was said in the group. Now, I'm sorry, but like, if this had been a Labour Party member in a group like this, and I don't even like Labour either. I think Keir Starmer is a moist youth. But the reality is, if somebody in Labour was found in a group like this, they would be ousted from the party. We have a Tory politician in a group actively being Islamophobic and calling for the murder of another politician, and nothing's going to happen because left-wingers are moist. Now, if you're angry about this, don't do something to me. Do something about it. What, bro? Yeah, boy. A Congolese man nationalized American, and his son decided it would be a good idea to go and try and stage a military coup in Congo. Because why not?
It's unacceptable.
Felix, you out!
Felix must go.
Surprise, surprise, the guy was summarily executed or shot dead, and it's quite unclear. My French isn't that good. But they killed his ass, and his son has now been taken prisoner in Congo, as well as a bunch of other Americans. And I don't quite understand why, like, the son is one of these guys that LARPs being a soldier. Never, in America, he goes to the firing range and shoots and wears a Donald Trump supporting MAGA hat. I just don't understand. You see, this is the problem now. Social media and memes and all this stuff has made people think that all you need to do to be a tough guy is watch a few podcasts, lift some weights, tweet very right-wing stuff, and all of a sudden you're like a Navy SEAL, Marine, Jason Bourne. In what world? How only 20 people? I mean, I get it, Congo might not be the most advanced country in terms of military, but you couldn't even take over Peckham with 20 people, man. Are you crazy? 20 people to take over the whole of Congo.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
You don't even have enough people to have a football game. You need 2 more players, and you still have no substitutes. How did you think 20 people would be enough? I'm not even going to question whether it was morally right to try and take over Congo. By the way, free the Congo. There's all kinds of horrible stuff happening there. But to me, what's daft is how you think your son, who's grown up in America,
Tell me how your love runs true.
even knows the terrain in Congo well enough to survive a gun battle with the Congolese forces. No, what in the Call of Duty did they think was going to happen? What I don't understand is all the white people that joined them. Like, bro, what's your fight in this? Actually, I was about to say, why would any white person want to go into Congo and overthrow the government? But then that's a stupid question, innit? But I mean, the sight of that guy doing the most African gesture ever. Oh, please don't get that. That was pretty funny. What's mad is these guys walked around as well with pictures of President Mobutu. Now, I'm sorry, but like, you didn't even, if you walk around with pictures of President Mobutu, you did not have Congo's best interests at heart. It's not like Mobutu was known for being a just ruler, wasn't prone to bloodshed and corruption himself. So yeah, enjoy holidays, guys. So I go for 5 minutes and then you guys allow this country to fall into absolute disrepair. Rishi Rich Sunak, aka Rishi Dog Whistle Sunak, has announced that he wants people to do national service.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Now, here's the thing. I actually quite like the idea. I think national service is quite cool. I am Nigerian by birth, and in countries like Nigeria, formerly also countries like Poland, and some other country in the Middle East, you have to do 2 years of national service. In some countries, military service. A lot of the Soviet countries did that too. Overall, it has a good effect on the citizens of countries where these things happen, because people generally from these countries are a lot tougher, a lot more useful in emergencies. So he's proposing that kids can, at a certain age go into service at the NHS or, volunteering for firefighting. Or, of course, the main crux of what he wants people to do, combat training. Now, again, this is a great idea, having like civilians all who are able-bodied have some knowledge of combat training and emergency services. But it's just the fact that it's Sunak that's telling us to do it that doesn't sit right with me.
Think of Rishi Sunak. Who?
Like, seriously. And also, isn't it ironic that the government that has done the least for the youth is now asking the most for the youth? These are the same people that didn't even want people to have free lunches. They didn't want to give kids who can't eat food. And then you want to come back later and tell those same kids 5 years later, hey, I see you grew despite being malnourished. Well, here's a grenade and a machine gun. Go get him, Tiger.
Fuck you, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Back the fuck up. I'll knock the fuck out you.
Come on, man. How do you expect people that you wouldn't even give a sandwich to take a grenade for you? It's insane. It's almost like an abusive relationship that we have with this government. So, and you know very well that Rishi's kids are not going to be joining those. They're probably going to be in the front line of I don't know. There's probably some secret apartment, you know, where they have like armies, the soldiers that only eat caviar, the caviar regiment or something. He's not going to have his kids preparing to go to the front line to die for you or me. Like, this whole time that he's been in power, why didn't that come into effect? Why is it that these politicians give us their best ideas just before an election, and then these ideas never come to fruition? Have you noticed that? Surely, as a politician, when you're in power, you do amazing stuff. And then when it's time for your re-election or whatever, you just say, hey, you see all that awesome stuff I was already doing? I'm going to keep doing it. But no, these guys just come out with some left field ideas as soon as an election is announced. I'm like, yeah, guys, yeah. So, well, if I'm elected, there's going to be free water for everyone. And I'm going to make bread fall from the sky. And I'm going to determine who actually killed Tupac.
So that was a f***ing lie.
So, Donald Trump found guilty on everything, basically.
Gotcha, bitch.
And guess what? He's probably still not going to jail because he's Donald Trump, bitch. No, this guy cannot be stopped. Donald Trump got found guilty on all these charges, and of course the right-wing QAnon and just about every other group that doesn't believe COVID is real came out and said it's some kind of conspiracy. It's a conspiracy of the deep state to bring down a great man. But at the end of the day, it's interesting because when Hunter Biden got found guilty, it's a conspiracy to make us think that the courts are fair. Everything's a conspiracy with these people. It doesn't matter what you say, they got an answer. I like the vortex that these guys live in. I mean, also, it's pretty interesting that Hunter Biden is on crack because that now explains why Joe Biden gave out crack pipes when he first became president of America. But I mean, with Donald Trump, I must say, having Stormy Daniels down as an expense is gangster. Thing is, it's not affected his popularity at all. As you know, Uncle Nabil is a big UFC fan, and the most recent big UFC card featured Donald Trump as a guest, and this guy walked into an arena full of people and got a standing ovation. You can't keep a bad man down. And Tommy Robinson, my favorite bigot, has once again fulfilled his role as a creature created to show the power of irony. Once again, Tommy Robinson has been arrested in another country as an immigrant. Tommy Robinson, I believe, is the only man fit to rule this country because in the state that we are currently in, only he can repair our economics. I'll show you how.
In economics, there's a science called Keynesian economics. Keynesian economics has a principle where if you pay one man to dig a hole and you pay another man to fill that hole, what you're doing is you're keeping the economy alive. Now, this is where Tommy Robinson comes in.
Tommy Robinson is a person who has made a living for himself, making life hell for brown people, having his followers chase brown people, harass brown people, all kinds of stuff to brown people, demonize brown people. But, when he wasn't doing this, you know what his day job was?
He also used to run a tanning shop.
Exactly right.
That's right. He owned a tanning salon. So if he ever ran out of brown people to harass, he'd just make more. The man is a genius. Only he can save our economy. Honestly, it's amazing to see Tommy Robinson get kicked out. Like, you're the English Defense League leader. What the hell are you doing in Canada? What are you doing in North America? They don't want English people there. They had a whole war based on that very premise. The results are in. I wouldn't say Labour won. I would say that the corporate lobbyists that run this country have changed sock puppets. We have now come out of over a decade of Tory rule into Tory light. And it's just like with Coke and Pepsi, I don't really know the difference.
Nice.
Rishi Sunak has left with his tail tucked in between his legs. And it's funny, you know, when you look at what we've got Keir Starmer, who basically is a closet Tory. For the closet he's in, he's more transparent than the glass closet P. Diddy and Meek Mill have been dancing in for years. I don't anticipate much great change, but it's still nice to see Tory voters crying because they are despicable. On the other hand, you now have Reform rising, which I don't know, man. It's scary. It's weird. You know, you look at the political situation in the UK, and you have what's left of the Tory party, probably the most diverse party right now in British politics. Because as you can see, right-wingers are so lazy, even their racism is outsourced.
There's too many people. That's what it comes down. That's what it comes down to.
Outside of the whole racism thing, you know, they led with the cult of personality around Mr. Nigel Farage. They actually had some policies that weren't too bad. Huh? And I'm listen, do not throw away my black card, hear me out. You know, like the stuff on tax, so, you know, tax breaks for people earning 20k and not like 12 or whatever it was before. Not taxing NHS staff who are heavily overworked. A lot of the policies they had, if they actually planned to follow through on them, would probably have made lives better for people. But the problem is also the free flights back to Africa that they led with, you know. But it is very scary when you think about it, because out of all the politicians right now that have their faces on TV, the guy who makes the most sense geopolitically was actually Nigel Farage. Because think about it, he was against the invasion of Libya. He warned about what's happening in Ukraine. He doesn't want to give Israel money or for weapons. There's all this stuff. It's weird. But he's also a stark raving racist. It's like, why can't somebody just have everything? It's almost like when you're waiting for the perfect guy. He's 6 feet tall. He's a 10, but he supports fucking Arsenal.
Okay.
The reality is, in a way, I'm kind of glad that Reform is doing well. I mean, I wish that they didn't have Nigel Farage as their front man, and I wish that they didn't just lead with anti-immigrant stuff, you know, because hopefully some of the better policies that they do have will put pressure on the mainstream parties to finally do what they've avoided doing for many years, which is address the problems of the working class in England. Of course, knowing our politicians, they're not going to do that. What they're going to do is they're just going to echo the more radical anti-immigrant, anti-Muslim and anti-minority policies that these other parties have, and completely ignore all the stuff that might actually benefit the economy. It is nice, though, for these parties to get a little bit of a shake. I mean, the Green Party is just a miscongeniality of politics. They were never going to win anything. But it is good that new parties are coming up and showing these guys, you know, we've got independents winning across the UK. It is always nice when someone shakes the system. I don't know what else we could, actually, I do have an idea of things we could do to make a change in England. But yeah, I'm not expecting that anytime soon, because for Russian results, you need Russians. Tenacious D, one of their members that isn't Jack Black, was celebrating. I mean, let's be real. That's the only one we really care about, right? He was celebrating his birthday, giving a birthday cake, blows out the candle, and he makes his wish. And his wish is the next time the bullet doesn't miss.
Don't miss Trump next time.
And the whole world goes crazy like, oh no, how dare you make a joke about Donald Trump? No one's done that before. I mean, to be fair, it is in bad taste. This guy has found out what black and brown comedians have known for a long time. Sometimes you gotta wait before you drop the punchline. You will get cancelled. And it's funny, because even his own guy, the Australian government, Australians are, oh, it's free speech, mate. It's free speech, mate. I thought they'd say that, but like, no. Free speech only supports racist jokes, but not jokes about Donald Trump. They turned on these guys. Jack Black turned on his man, put out a statement saying, oh my God, I'm so horrified. Oh my God, I'm cancelling all my dates because I'm already a millionaire. I don't give a fuck, right? I'm done. No more Tenacious D. That is such a soft thing to do, such a moist thing to do.
Fuck you, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Back the fuck up. I'll knock the fuck out you.
But how do you turn on your friend? It shows that there's no such thing as halfway crooks. This is my problem with the right wing. They say all this stuff about cancel culture, but they will cancel you just as fast as the left. Like, how are you out here calling people snowflakes because, you know, oh, I called someone the N-word and he was offended. He's such a snowflake. It was just words. But then somebody insults your daddy Trump or makes a joke about it, and then you want to go and cry on your podcast. You know, Oh, you can't say that about them. Come on, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? It was just a joke. Like, this sensitivity is pathetic. You know, I don't care whether you like Trump, whether you dislike Trump. I personally wouldn't have made that joke. But destroying a whole career built over decades of hard work. These guys have raised millions that have gone into America's economy. Maybe not through taxes, but in other ways when they spent it, right? These guys have been behind amazing movies and tours, and because of one joke, they get cancelled. You right-wingers should be ashamed of yourself.
Emotional, damn it!
On the topic of Muslims catching strays, you know how sick you have to be to see children being killed or see innocent people being killed, and you immediately find a way to crowbar in your agenda. These guys, before you know it, were already attacking mosques, and a lot of them weren't even people from the locale. The actual locals are helping to rebuild the mosque. These guys went and attacked the mosque, and then lo and behold, it turns out that the guy that did it is from Rwanda, most likely Catholic. Why aren't you attacking the Catholic Church? It's also very interesting. You know, recently, Anjem Chowdhury has been given a lengthy prison sentence. I hope he has fun in there. But Anjem Chowdhury is from the same part of the country as Tommy Robinson. I think they were once friends and went to the same school. And it's all the same thing. They get a bunch of angry nerds, a bunch of incels. They fill their heads with shit, and then they send them to go do this stuff while they hide. Tommy Robinson says he hates refugees. But what's he doing? Taking refuge in Ayanapa, right? This is the same guy that hates illegal immigrants. He got kicked out of Canada for entering the country illegally. The thing about irony is the people who exude it are too dumb to know what it is. And then I see on the flip side, you've got all these mosques talking about, oh, come, we'll give you tea. We want to show you that Muslims are peaceful. They know Muslims are peaceful. That's why they're attacking you. There's a reason they're going to those neighborhoods, right? They ain't showed up in Hackney yet. They haven't pulled up in Brixton or Croydon yet. And we saw what happened when they came here in Birmingham. Thing is, I already know how this is going to play out. Eventually, they will turn up in these areas and there will be casualties on both sides. And then our government is going to completely put huge restrictions on protesting and everybody loses out. I'm not even saying that there isn't a problem with immigration or there isn't reason to be upset. But attacking a family that has grown up in Britain, that pays taxes, whose taxes probably cover your universal credit, isn't going to make things any better. Many of you guys are going to go to prisons full of black people and brown people, and you're going to wish that the law didn't put so many black and brown. You're going to come out and campaign for more white men to go to jail by the time they're through with you in there. And the people who are actually fucking us over, who are sitting down in Parliament, who are sitting down in Downing Street, will just put in more laws to oppress us all. If you're going to attack somewhere, attack Downing Street. Don't go to your local corner shop. If you're really serious, I'm joking, by the way, before the feds them come and arrest me too. Although I'll be fine because prison's full of Muslims. MashaAllah, brother. It's a weird thing. Being a British person, that is tanned all year round. People talk about gender being complicated. No, nationality is complicated. For example, when Anthony Joshua wins, he's British. When he loses, he's Nigerian. These are people who live in this country and still can't spell correctly. In a country where education is free.
When you got the Titanic and they filled it with too many people, what happened? It sunk. And that's what's happening to England. We're sinking. Too many years.
Immigrants come here and they use what is here. Because a lot of people come from countries that don't have a lot of the facilities that England does. Okay, that's fair. But ask yourself, why don't these countries have the things? Who is going to these countries and causing war? You are. The army that you pretend to care about once a year or twice a year, military operations in these countries are destabilizing them. Why are you angry with the shopkeeper down the street who sells you your Stella Artois when at the end of the day it's your government that's sending millions to Ukraine and Israel and other countries? What? They're not the ones. They didn't choose that. The Afghan man across the street didn't ask for his country to be bombed. They didn't ask for their country to be ravaged. They were happy as things were. You can't be angry with them. You should be angry with the government that's causing this. And then you're going and you're burning down hotels that are owned by Western business. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Do you really think that this is going to affect any politics? It's not.